Hello there, my friends. What's going on? Tim Lee Legacy Gaming Studio right here. Thank you so very much for joining me in another live stream. Got something kind of cool right here in front of me. This is a flight yoke. It's a Velocity 1 flight yoke from Turtle Beach. Just bought it secondhand for 125 bucks. It's not perfect. It's definitely wiggly. It's definitely a little chintzy in certain ways, but tonight we're going to find out if it handles a little better than my Thrustmaster system, Thrustmaster X or whatever, which is definitely not a yoke system. There's so many wonderful buttons across this, including a ginormous throttle quadrant on the side here, including everything you can't see. So why am I talking about it? That's a very good question. So we're going to get started here in just a few moments and have a little bit of fun on Flight Simulator. Just to let you know, pretty tired tonight. We've had a very busy and tiring weekend. Not sure if you've ever heard of the NOLA virus. Long story short, my wife got it, and it was exhausting for both of us. And poor girl fought really hard to get through it, and she did a great job, but it was exhausting, and so we're both very tired and haven't had much chance to rest from a very busy season so far. So I'm just going to play for a little bit, mess around with this Yoke Master, well, yet not Yoke Master, but Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight system, and we'll have a little fun, try and do a little bit of flying. So very quickly, of course, and I think it has turned off all the things that would... just turned off everything that would help me show this. Hang on a second. Got to turn on all these different functions so that you can see this. Big thanks to everyone who makes this possible. My legacy historians, my Vanguard historians, and early access historians deeply appreciate each and every one of you guys. My channels that, if you want to take a look at some of the other things I do, haven't updated on any of them recently. This is the channel I've been hanging out on the most, but if you want to go and see, you can find out through those different channels. And, of course, I'm not a licensed therapist, just a previous youth pastor. So if I give you any advice, just remember it's not a therapist talking to you. It's your big brother here on YouTube, okay? Going to turn off all the crazy buttons, bells, and whistles, and it'll just be us in our live stream today as we do it. Let's hop into the game, hop into our career mode, and see what happens. Now, I've done like 2 flights on this Velocity 1 system. I haven't even successfully landed in the Velocity 1 system yet, so I have no idea how that's going to feel. This is not the most incredible flight yoke, but it has a lot of great features, and I'm hoping I can quickly get used to them. I also think maybe some plastic lubricant, among other things like that, may assist this in maybe working a little better, which I have some laying around somewhere. So I have hopes that maybe we can do a few things to improve on this in the future. Today is merely about testing this guy out and seeing what happens. So let me go ahead and get over to our space once we see where all the different stuff is going on. In our last Flight Simulator, in our last live stream, we successfully got some pilot licenses for helicopters. Miserable flights. I don't know why we got an A rating on one of those flights when I did not deserve anything of the sort, but we'll see what happens. We'll do a small soiree here and see if we can do something that will allow us to test this flight yoke system on something small and simple. Now, beforehand, I was saying I was getting really tired of flying the 152, but right now the 152 actually feels like a really worthy choice for testing this out. So fly a lucky local next to Anaconda Deer Lodge County. The landing situations at each one of these has been pretty abysmal, but we'll go ahead and do it just to see. And see if this is a worthy option or not. We'll find out. We'll make a full 860 credits on this. Next to nothing, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope you all are having a good day. We're trying to have a good day. Like I said, still trying to recoup. My poor wife is trying to recoup from being sick. She's been sick for about 2 days now. Miserable sickness. I hope you never see it, because it is terrible a really terrible sickness that's just, it's a gut punch, quite literally a gut punch. So I hope that you never have to deal with it because it's painful stuff. But we're doing okay. We're going to see what happens today here. So the cool thing about this quadrant system is not only do I have a quadrant here for 4 motors if I want to do a big jet, but I also have the throttle, prop, and mix, just like you would see in a small aircraft, which I think is super cool. So we're going to have a lot of fun flying this here. I am just going to go ahead and skip past our area to the taxi. I haven't set up anything special on this system yet, so we're just going to roll right into, let's see, it's an Alt-N. It's not letting me do it. Interesting. Let me see what could be going on here. All right. Here we go. Resume. Let's just do this. We'll go Alt-N. There we go. That way we can get right into flying and getting used to the yoke system here. And hopefully this works. All right. I figured out where some of the controls are on this thing, but not all of them. And the sad thing is there's a pretty solid wiggle on this flight yoke. Okay, so I have control of my mixture here. As you can see, control my throttle, and if I had a prop control, I have control of that as well. It's pretty cool. I got 2 hat switches. One of them moves around like this. The other one moves around much quicker for quicker movements. I don't know if there's a reset button for that. Maybe I need to program one. So far, so cool, though. My rudders are on the back of the yoke. I would love to have some real rudders at some point, but not there yet. I can control my flaps with the secondary hat switch on one of these. I haven't figured out what's the opposite side yet. I don't know. I got a full trim tab here that I can adjust that... let's see, I think usually it's on the hat, but okay. So if you look right next to the yoke, see that thing moving there right next to his leg? That's my trim, and I have something that looks very similar to that on the throttle quadrant, which is really, really cool. I haven't found a brake for this yet, so I don't know if there is a brake option on this that is programmed or not. There's 2 above hat switches here. Neither of which seems to manage a brake system. I have A, B, maybe that's a reset. Oh, that's cool. I can turn off the hat mode. I can see different, I guess that's pause. What's this one do? There you go. I can see from around the outside of the plane. And this button, nothing happens with that. Nothing happens with that. So there's a few things on this controller that, I don't know, maybe if I got a wild hair, I would maybe consider taking the flight yoke apart and see if I can tighten it up. This would be really nice if it didn't have all the little things that I'm noticing, all the little wiggling. I hate 3. I hate 3 so much. All right, so throttle up.
Memories in this area. Flying over all these familiar places is going to be quite something. I'm Michael, by the way.
All right. Brakes are released. Important thing to note is I have no idea where my brakes are on my rudders. It would be kind of nice if you could just pull both of them and that would be the brakes. That's definitely not the case. Checking my other hat buttons. Neither of them seem to work for brakes. So I have no idea where my brakes are in this situation. So I think I might be able to roll with shift as my brake. And then we need to figure out where to program in. Now, what's this one? Neither of those seem to be brakes either. Okay. So brakes don't seem to be a necessity in this game, according to this controller, which is comical. Whoa, the whole panel here moves. Oh, it's magnetic. Okay. Don't you dock me for that. Okay. Okay, I hear the brakes when I hit my space button, so my space bar, so that'll be brakes for now until I can come up with an alternate, which I feel like it's going to be very easy to come up with an alternate, but okay. All right, holding down the brake. And here we go. Okay.
Tree uniform, tree traffic. Cessna November 707 tree niner. Taking off, runway tree 5. Departure to the south, tree uniform.
Boy, I hate that vocal so much. They really just want to tick you off with that letter tree, the number tree. Ugh. They just want to tick you off so bad. Okay. Here we go. All right, first time with a new Velocity 1. Throttle up, full blast. Okay. Rudders are working smooth. All right, we're at speed. Whoa, that just launched in the air a little too quickly for my liking. Something that other people have mentioned about this flight yoke is your vertical is a bit jumpy, and you can control that down in your settings, so I'll probably be doing that. Pull back on my mixture slightly. Oh, no. A little bit less on throttle then. There we go. I love the trim. This trim tab is awesome. Now I am rotating a little bit to the right. Now, what's going on out of this side window here? We're supposed to go that way even though it's saying to meet up here. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and start. Flying to Anaconda. So far, the knee-jerk reactions of things that I would like to do to this flight yoke, somehow try to tighten it up because it is a bit wonky. I would like to lube up the main shaft so that it isn't as jumpy when we're flying. The third thing I would like to do is make a reset button for my hat switch on the right side so that when I look around, then I can have...
Chris, thanks for checking in. Having a great time, and it's surely thanks to my pilot.
Good. I'll leave it to you then. Enjoy the flight.
So we'll do a hat reset button here so that if things don't play nice, then I can easily reset my hat switch for when I'm looking around. And then I also need I need a brake. I have some great buttons here, lots of button opportunities. I like this that I can actually... that wasn't the right button. This one can pull up our knee board.
I almost forgot to take pictures.
I think this one turns on and off our visuals, which is amazing. I am so glad we can turn that off. I also have comm control here. Chill out my trim a little bit and pull back up my throttle a bit more. What else did we have programmed in? I don't know what B3 is. Maybe that's our brake. I don't want to hit... There's like one button here that shuts off the motor. I would like to remove that button entirely I would rather manually start my plane and shut it down myself. I can also
Really high, but it's totally fine.
get out of the plane if I want to, and in simulated mode. And I think one of these is also a pause. Yeah, right there's a pause button for the flight mission as well, which is pretty cool. So if I'm taking a break or I need to go somewhere, there's a pause button. Which, yes, I know.
Here you are, finally. This is one of the best things I ever did.
Yeah, it's definitely jumpy. So as I go up and down, it's very jumpy. Okay, here we go. Speed to 77 knots. Altitude 6,200 feet. So I'm just going to use my trims for now. At this moment, it does feel better just to use the trims and then my my roll with my ailerons. That's smooth as silk on this thing. So going up and down, that's a bit jerky. So I can see why adding in some variables to that would be a wise move. Okay, so throttling back, I'm also going to add in some flaps. And I hate when I forget about that airspeed issue with the flaps. I haven't done...
Too fast for me to take it all in.
I'm working on it, sir. There we go. I've been to Anaconda about 3 times. I've made videos on that very smokestack out there, which is actually a smelter. All right, I would like to climb a little bit, so I'm just gonna... Oh, that's stupid. I am very good at this, thank you very much. Judgmental. All right. Okay. Yeah, we need a reset for that hat button for sure. Something that I can just press once. That would reset. But this old bird here is an old unit used, but used on the market if you buy it from Best Buy for $400. Since I didn't know what kind of condition it was in, I figured I would offer...
Wow, see that? I want to act sophisticated, but I'm as excited as a little kid at a carnival.
There we go. Anyway, got it for $125. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work because these are made for PlayStation. So, not PlayStation, Xbox. So I figured most of those things are reasonable enough to work with computers, since they're both made by Microsoft. So I figured I would at least give it a shot and see what happens. And looks like it most of the way paid off. If I can do a few things to tighten things up a little bit, that'd be great. But I also don't have high hopes on that. But for the price, I really can't argue with what I'm getting here at all. I think there's a lot of benefit to this system. But I've been known to rip into things to try to make them better.
I feel so lucky to be here today. This flight is truly a happy twist of fate.
You paid for it, so I don't know if I'd call it fate.
I see you're on your way back, guys. So, Michael, did you enjoy the ride? You ready to do it again?
Great flight over my beloved Anaconda. Let's do it again.
I'm up way too high.
Tree uniform, tree traffic.
Oh.
November 707 tree 9. 2 miles southwest, 6500, inbound to land. Runway tree 5. Tree uniform tree.
All right, flaps down again. Yeah, I don't care. Never landed with this system, so... Yeah, it's definitely jerky. Woo! Yeah, you think it's going to be smooth, but all the micro corrections you're trying to make... That's jerky, yeah. Pretty...
Smooth as butter. We've
Yeah. Amen. Even I'm impressed by that. Okay. I'm very impressed by that. Brakes aren't working. And now my rudder's not working. There we go. And I also have to go to the bathroom very badly, apparently. Okay. All right, guys. I will be back. Wow. Dinner does not like me. Where's my be back button? Where is my back right now button? Be right back. Okay. All right. No joke. Barely made it to the bathroom. Just barely. That wasn't fun. Okay. Let's get back to what we were doing here, shall we? Why is everything so quiet? Oh, that's why. I forgot to unpause it. Big difference. Okay. Brakes are off. They're definitely not off. There we go. Okay, once I get done with this, we're going to do a little bit of retuning to try to get this thing to work a little better.
Tree uniform, tree traffic.
Ugh.
Cessna November 707 tree 9er.
Yeah.
Taxiing to parking. Tree uniform tree.
Thing is, I heard a woman on here, I think it was a woman, who said 2300, and she didn't say 2300, she said 2300. So if the AI can't figure out what a 3 is versus 23, that's downright comical and slightly disgusting, and tastes like 10-week-old food sitting in a fridge for way too long with the power pulled from the refrigerator, so the refrigeration part of the refrigerator doesn't even work in the first place, which just means the food's covered in every kind of germ known to man, so big that it's just creeping and crawling across the food, kind of a scenario. It's not even cold. It's lukewarm in the fridge when fridges are not supposed to be microwaves. They're supposed to be fridges. There's a difference. So, yeah. That's just my 10 cents. All right. Because my left hand is busy, I have to reach over to the opposite side of my yoke, my flight yoke, to get to the brakes on the left side. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
You've given this lucky guest the time of his life.
Lucky guest, the ultimate time of his life. And Control Shift E. What on earth? Decline. There we go. All right. How do we do? Sightseeing quality 53%, landing smoothness 70%, flaps extended max speed 40%. It weren't great if we are being completely honest, but that's okay. Ouch. Still haven't gotten my B rating yet. Okay, well, we're going to do some reprogramming here before we take off again. Since no one's here, I don't care. So let's go ahead and do this. Velocity 1 quadrant flight yoke is the first thing we're going to mess with. We're going to start with the flight control surfaces, the primary control surfaces. And we're going to look for our joystick L axis Y plus and minus. So let's just go ahead and do search by input and put in the elevator axis. Let's click on this. And there should be an ability to adjust the set control on release, set inverted axis. I wish I knew where that gel is and I could gel this up, because if I push down on it and push it in and out, it's a little rough. If I pull it up and push it in and out, it's a little rough. If I do center, it's really nice and smooth until I get like right near the end. So I think a little lubricant would do this thing a lot of good. especially near the back end here. Let me go look and see if I have any of that lube real quick. I don't think I do, but I'm going to check. So this is unfortunately one of those moments where I probably don't want to use the lubricant that everyone uses, which would be WD-40, because I have a feeling there's probably plastics and stuff involved in this and such. So this I'm just going to live with for right now. But it doesn't mean we can't figure out how to do some very basic input. Oh, device override. Cancel. Delete access control. Tweak action curve. That's kind of what I was thinking. Let's see if this is it. So this jerkiness, I'm not sure why. Like, how do we calm that down? Is it a... Okay. So usually you want something... I would think you'd want less sensitivity on the main axis, more like that. So let's pull this back even more. So, hate to do it that way. I also find it very interesting that when I come here, right here is peak, but I can still pull it back just a little bit further, where here I can't. And if I center it, that's not on the center point. So it's like it needs to be recalibrated slightly. So let's do this. We're going to put this one at 30, put this one at 30. Okay. And let's go back. So there might be an alignment issue with this that I need to solve. And I'm not sure if that's something that I can do. Let's do this. Let's do settings. Okay. And let's look at controllers. Gaming. Optimize game bar captures. No. Nope, that's all for the graphics card. So let's look at... Yeah. Nope. So... Well, is this my first time? I need my control panel. That's what I need. Here we go. Control panel. And let's see if we can adjust that. Hello, folks. For anyone who questioning what I'm up to, I am playing Flight Simulator, but I have a new flight yoke. It's a previously owned flight yoke. It's the Velocity 1 flight yoke from Turtle Beach. And I am attempting to see if there's a way to recalibrate it really quick. Actually, I wonder. No, okay. So I was checking to see if my trim did anything with that, and it does not. So never mind. Go back. Okay, what's this button do? Joystick button 10. Search by input. Oh, they're saying it's brakes. Really? What's this one? Huh. Okay, how about that one? Cockpit free look. Disengage autopilot. But the thing is, I look here, what's the 4 stand for? That means like there's 4 different options, but it's binding for the same one? Yeah, I guess so. How about this one? All right, that's supposed to be our brakes. That's weird. How about this one? Smoke toggle, afterburner, toggle spray, firefighting mission, toggle scoops or doors. This is kind of like an action button, I guess. That's weird. How about our hat? Exposure decrease. Exposure increase. Elevator trim. So this is trim if you don't have the throttle quadrant, because I have the throttle quadrant. And, well, it's not reading it right now. That's interesting, though. Okay. So apparently we have a brake, even though it doesn't seem to work that way. And then what's this one do? Toggle parking brakes. Toggle landing gear. Okay, so interesting. Okay, well, I mean, it seems like they've thought of everything, but we haven't gotten it to work, which is kind of an important variable. So let's do another one. I didn't check to see what aircraft we're flying. Aero Elvira Optica. Interesting. I think that's that weird bubble plane. I'll do it. Why not? Yep, bubble plane. Okay. Okay. We're going to go ahead and skip, just go right to our taxi out, just to make things easier since I'm still learning this whole system. So B1 should be our brake, which I didn't get that same result last time, but that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people in one cockpit. Okay. So, announce.
Kilo Bravo Tango Mike traffic. Aero Elvira November 6 49er Tree 9er is taxiing to runway tree. Kilo Bravo Tango.
Okay. All right, that should be autopilot. This one.
I'm Jennifer, Ashley's mother. I can't believe we'll be up there in a few minutes. Can't wait.
Okay, so brakes should be one of these two. So let's see. Which throttle unit do I want to try this time? Since we have a mixture, and we have... Where's our mix? There's our mixture. And handbrake. That handbrake isn't moving. That's got to be our autopilot, which I would doubt this thing has an autopilot, but we'll see what happens here. Okay. We have our way out to the runway, so here we go, ladies. Trying it with the other throttle quadrant. Okay. And brakes for testing. Nothing's happening there. How about this side? All right, we have brakes. Pfft, thank heavens. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Just find it very interesting how this is basically a helicopter body with a ginormous internal prop right behind us. Just a very interesting airplane. The other thing is with this flight yoke is I'm not sure how much pressure I can put on this. Like, can I put my general resting weight on it or not? That's where I'm a little torn and where I would love to strengthen up some of this somehow so it's not as wobbly. And it's not overly so, but it is a bit. If I can take it and jiggle it back and forth like this, there's a looseness to that I don't care for. And when I rotate my ailerons, the shaft on this doesn't move. So that means that the input is being hooked to the end of the shaft, and the shaft that would be for our, back and forth, our elevator, that's on a single point. So I'm assuming we're feeding wires down the center shaft into the main box of the Turtle Beach system. So, like I said, there's some science I'd like to work out on this thing. And then when I have, moved it, I've noticed a little bit of a wobble between the two parts. You can kind of see it in camera underneath my Real Men Talk How You Doing thing. If we full screen here, see how I can do that? And you can kind of see movement between the two. I'm not sure if that's okay. And I'm at this point now in my life when I'm realizing if things aren't perfect, it is what it is. And just play until it breaks at this point. And that's kind of where my head's at with this unit. And most things in my life these days. All right, killing our throttle. So we can just roll for a bit. Does this thing have flaps? That seems like a yes. I heard something go thump, so I'm assuming this thing has flaps. So I like to put them down at about 10% as we take off. Okay. All right, so we're going to stay here and hold short. So gently throttle up a little bit with our throttle quadrant. There we go. Brakes. Tapping them as we roll into position here. And full blast on the brakes. Now, okay. I was about to say I put on the...
Bravo Tango, Mike traffic. Air over at November 6 Fort Niner Tree Niner.
Yep.
Taking off runway tree. Straight out departure. Kilo Bravo Tango, Mike.
All right. Here we go.
Special flight command. I'm excited, but also kind of anxious. Hope that's fine.
All right. Here we go. Let's get leveled out. Full throttle. And off we go. Such a quick launch. I'm going to trim down here pretty quickly. Let's get our flaps back. There we go. Amazing how quickly this thing takes off. Just amazing. I love the trim wheel on this thing. The whole idea of the Velocity one's great. I mean, it even has a little screen on the front of it, which is cool, but so far, the best part about this whole thing is the trim tab. I mean, look at that. We're doing 100 knots. Just like that. All right, let's turn into this a little bit. Add a little bit rudder. And I'm going to climb with our trim. It's just easier. I wish I needed... I guess I haven't really... Oh, that's much better. Okay, our adjustments
You okay?
is much better.
Too excited to be scared.
Oh, that's way better. And it's just minimal movement, but that minimal movement really does make a difference. Wow. Now I don't feel as crazy trying to... I mean, yes, it's still jerky. It needs some kind of lubricant in there. And I would prefer to try plastic lubricant first.
Hey, that's nice. You've got such a clear view from here. I love it. It's amazing. I recognize everything down there.
Okay, since I don't know what speed they're going to want me to fly at once we get there, let's trim up. All right, set speed at 81 knots, which we're doing pretty good. I'm going to pull back on that just a touch more, just so I don't get in trouble. Pull back on my mix a little bit too. Okay, let's trim down just so we can keep our altitude nice and smooth. Here we go. Throttle down pretty low, trying to keep this. There we go. A little better. Throttle up so we don't stall. Nowhere near stalling, though. Now we're talking.
What of you? I recognize almost everything below.
Yeah, where's the mine? Is it out that window? Oh, there's the M logo. So where is the mine? Must be behind us. Yeah, it's behind us. It's not the mine, it's the rock quarry. It's Butte's coal plant. Coal? Mining stuff. It's a quarry. Yeah, it's definitely a bit jerky. So I do want to solve that. Not bad, though, for the price I paid. If it was $400, I'd be returning it immediately, but for this, it's perfect. I mean, minor less than perfect. How about that? There's the mine. Rock quarry and all that sort of stuff over there. Gotcha. Okay. Throttle back up and head back towards home. And then we get to try landing in this beast.
Bravo Tango, like traffic. Arrow over in November 6, 49er tree 9er. 3 miles northwest, 6,600 bound to land. Runway 15, Kilo Bravo Tango, Mike.
Okay.
When we took off, I thought there should have been a drum roll or something. Think we'll get some when we land? Yeah, I know. Rookie thoughts.
Let's see.
I see you're way back, guys. So, Ashley, did you enjoy the ride?
All right, I'm just cutting my throttle back because I want to get my flaps down.
It was amazing. Thank you so
There
much.
we go. There we go. This is nice. This is nice. So I do think I want to add a little bit more to our sensitivity level. Whoops. Let's put that away. That's not the button. Is it this one? Nope, this one.
Kilo Bravo Tango, like traffic. Arrow over
There it is.
November 6, 49er tree 9er is on final. Runway 15
Okay.
to land. Kilo
More flaps. Get us down a little bit quicker. I'm going full flaps. That'll get us down real quick. Got plenty of runway to work with, though, so I'm not too worried about that. And we are completely in the flight detent, so we are 0 throttle at this moment. This does feel much better. Well, I think it feels much better. If I could just work out these little discomforts. Like if I put my hands lower on the yoke and not on the handles of the yoke and kind of center myself on the stick on the shaft of this thing, I have a little bit more control. And I hate that because there we go. Beautiful landings though. That's better than I've done before. I mean, both landings I've done in this. Woo. My brakes on by accident? Do I not have flaps? Like, what's going on? Did I? I'm a little scared to ask. Did I just land without landing gear? I am so scared. No, there's landing gear. Weird. Well, I'm sure not moving. Oh. My flaps were my brakes were on. Like my big brakes were on. That was weird. I don't know where my air. I mean, like, didn't we see parking brakes? Weren't those my parking brakes? They sure don't seem to be. How about these? Or these? See, I think that's my autopilot. I'm going to have to double check. Oh, you know what? It's one of these, isn't it? There it is. Okay. I found it. I found it. I know what's going on now. Okay, so, yeah, definitely want to lubricate up this thing a little bit more. I think if we do that, then this will be great. Until then, I might add some more I'm going to add some more to my, whatchamacalls, who's a what's it, and the thingamabobber that's in the Jackamid, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. We're going to take away some sensitivity to our elevators. That's the main thing I'm trying to say. And so far, I can't tell which quadrant I like more, because you basically get two quadrants on this system. You get either the, for lack of a better term, big jet Boeing 737 4-tree quadrant, or you get the 3-tree 3-tree small thing, which is like your throttle, your prop, and your mix. And so far, just in the natural feeling, I think I almost like my throttle prop mix a bit more than I like the quadrant up top. Now, something that's cool about the quadrant up top is that it has the flight detent, and then you can push it backwards, and I'm assuming that's your, your air brakes or whatever, when you come in to land on a big super jet or whatever, like a jumbo jet. This is pretty sweet. I do notice that it might not be perfectly level by the smallest margin as I look at it, but I'm really excited that I've been seeing this on Facebook Marketplace now for, I feel like it's felt like a couple weeks that no one's bought it yet, and I'm like, they're asking $225 out of a $400 unit if you buy it new, and I'm like, I can only hope that someone who hasn't sold in several weeks might consider selling for $100, and hey, it paid off. It paid off, and they bought it in a garage sale, so that tells me that they don't even know if it fully works. They don't even know if it's fully functional. So I do stupid things. Sometimes I get rewarded. Many times I get punished. Today it seems like I might be getting rewarded, which I'm very thankful for. All right. Well, I would say I'm 65 to 70% satisfied with my purchase here. And for me, that's pretty good. We'll go 75, 80%. There's some things that just feel cheap about it. There's some things that are a little off that I would love to see a bit different. Maybe things I might be able to fix on my own, because sometimes I get lucky, but nonetheless, it works. And frankly, I do think it works better than my Thrustmaster yoke, which, not my yoke, I don't have a yoke. Well, I do now, but my Thrustmaster stick. And that is exciting to me because I've been wanting a flight yoke for a long time now. So, very, very happy about that. Oh. Okay, parking brakes are on. There we go. We shut everything down just by pulling our 4-quadrant down, which is cool. The end of the flight. All right, very cool. I'm very pleased. Very pleased. Very nice. 100%. Oh, look at that. We got an S. That's my first S. First super rank. Amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Okay, good for you, little yoke. You did me a service. Maybe I'll keep you. All right, so are we finally? Yes, we're finally a B reputation. Mission reward, 5% bonus on each mission. Special mission access. Yes, level 23, my precious. Okay, so we're definitely going to fix this quadrant, not quadrant, but our search by input. Let's go ahead and add elevator access. Well, axis. Now, wait a minute. What happened here? Let's go into our device override, and it's gone. Because I had it at 35, I think, so I'm going to put it at 40. There you go, 40. And let's go back. There isn't a save button, is there? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Apply to all aircraft. I wonder if that's what I did wrong. Which means maybe it might have changed my opinion on the first flight. Oh, we got some people showing up. Hi, folks. Mission opportunities. Your reputation precedes you. Some contractors will now rely on skilled individuals like you. Keep an eye on the world map for new opportunities that you've never seen before. What are we going to do next? What is this? What's this? What's this? That's weird. Why? Oh, what? So look at this. Why is it like that? I have no idea. And then what is this one? Is that our home base? That might be our home base. No. Explain to me what I'm looking at here. Missions list for Bert Mooney? I have no idea what that means. Because our home base is Conrad. Where's Great Falls? Weird. I have no idea. Let's see what else we got here. We got a jump for Hamilton. I want something a little bit more interesting. Here we go. 1 hour flight in a Skyhawk. It's good money. Not really interested in an hour-long flight, though. Viking Air Limited, hour and 30 minutes. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock here in Montana. So, not really interested in a flight that's that long. Let's see if there's any other hops that would be worthy of our attention. Fertilization. No, it's a helicopter. I'm not interested in doing helicopter, especially now that I have this flight yoke. Caracas. Let's see what's going on the other side of the ocean here. Oh, okay, there's some drop-offs. 30-minute flight with a Piper. PA-28 Dakota, which I think is an older plane. It doesn't have all the nice little accoutrement that I like to fly with, but 30-minute flight, I think that's worth doing. It's a drop-off flight, and we'll see how it does with these controls. Also see if it does any better with that sensitivity change that we made. So yeah, that's going to be at the peak of my desires to get this lubricated and see if that fixes our flight yoke at all. While that's loading, I'm actually curious to see. For those of you who have squeaky things like headphones, I actually made a whole video on doing it for these headphones. I strongly advise getting some plastic lubricant and squirting it in the joints and things of this. All right. Let's get this bird in the air. Let's pull all of our throttle mixture and everything out. So we start on fresh soil here. Oh, a night flight. Great. Yay, I'm so excited about a night flight. Let's move straight to our takeoff. Now, I thought one of these buttons handled lights on this flight yoke system? I haven't figured that out yet.
Captain, thanks for being available. I'm Michelle, the maintenance manager. Today's job involves getting this PA-28-236 Dakota to Saar Louis Duran as soon as possible. The owner's aircraft was in for maintenance, and now that it's fixed, he wants it flown back. His name's Nicholas Zowie, and he is waiting at the destination to pick it up. Fly safe, pilot.
Well, I can't say I'm happy about the parking the light situation. I can't see anything.
Foxtrot, Golf, Romeo traffic. Foxtrot Hotel, Lima Bravo Victor is taxiing to runway 8. Lima Foxtrot, Golf Romeo.
When the only thing you have going for you is... Let me get rid of this yoke so I can see what I'm doing here. So, toggle visibility. Where is it? There it is. Now, hopefully I can see my lights somewhere on this quadrant. Landing light. Fuel pump is off. Pilot heat. Where's my taxi lights? It's not up here on the surface. Nope. Okay. Nothing there. All right, so let me check my... see, there's... So here's my throttle. Whoa. What happened here? So here's my mixture. My... Weird. It's not reading my throttle RPM. So here's my mix. That would technically be my throttle RPM, but nothing's working there. And then there's my throttle. So let's kill these. Now if I do this one... That one's usually my throttle. Let's put all these to the top. Now I have throttle. Oh, you know what I wonder? No, still not working. So my mixture's not working on my main, but it's working fine on the triple tree, which is okay. So I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and hit our restart button. Okay. Make sure I don't have anything stupid going on that I'm not in control of. Where are the rest of our lights? Because I can't see. Did I move? I moved, didn't I? Well, that's no good. I don't want to move. There's nothing up there. Hey, what's up, Monsieur? Monsieur, my friend, how are you? That is my guess of the accent I should go for with Monsieur. Where's the lights on this stupid plane? Because I'm going to be driving and flying in pitch black, and I do not want to do so. Because I am not stupid. Okay, I'm a bit stupid, but don't tell my mother that. Let's see what's this. Our rudder trim. Parking brake, which I have on right now. When you can't find anything you're looking for. So usually it's like in your face. In your head, it's in your head, zombie. That's copyright. All right, I'm about to give up and we're just about to go for it, which is the worst thing I can do. I mean, we have a GPS, which is nice, but I'm planning on flying the stick the entire way, so... Well, here's the thing. See, look here. Landing light off. Fuel pumps on. Fuel pumps off, but those are on. Pilot heat. Light intensity. So what's this one? Navigation lights on. So where's my land? Like, where's my... Oh, okay, it is on. Great. Okay. Lovely. Let's just go die. That's what's going to happen. We're just going to go die. Here we go. Because that's what I want to do today. All right. Let's just see what happens here. This is not going to end well. But what do I have to lose except my life? Okay. For those wondering, I am trying out a new flight yoke that I purchased on Facebook Marketplace today. It's the Velocity One Flight. When you go to Turtle Beach's website, they don't even show it with the other the other systems. So, yeah. It makes you feel real good when they don't even show it as something they're selling. And they started selling it in 2021. And, all right, announce takeoff.
Lima Foxtrot, Golf, Romeo,
But I have no idea where the runway is.
Lima Bravo Victor. Taking off runway 8. Departure to the east. Lima Foxtrot, Golf, Romeo.
See, there's no runway. There is no runway at all. So my question before I take off is, which direction am I blindly going to go? And when you say to the east, what does that mean? So technically I'm supposed to go to the right. But I don't have anything to tell me. There's no landing lights. There's nothing. I don't understand these flights that are scheduled to do them at like 3 o'clock in the morning or sunrise before the sun comes up, when it's very, very clear that there is no reason for that. So if I get outside the airplane and I'm just looking, I don't see any visual of a runway. So it's obviously a grass situation. So this is where I'm going to get docked and lose points because I took off not on a runway. And I don't see any markers telling me, and I think this button is our... Oh. Oh, no, I just shut off the engine. Okay, I think I'm good. So we're just going to make an assumption. There, right there, initial climb. So we're just going to go for that. We're going to do flaps 10 degrees, throttle this punk, and just go. And I'm just going to pull back on the stick here a little bit, and we're just going to get off the ground as quickly as humanly possible. Oh, good. Thank heavens. That is the worst. That is so bad. Okay, now. This thing has, like, retractable landing gear, doesn't it? I don't see anything to prove that, so maybe it doesn't. Let's go ahead and drop our flaps. Back down to 0, and we'll whoa, 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 whoa. It does not like my trim. What? Dude, what happened to my trim? That's not even... So now nose up is nose down, and nose down is nose up in this airplane. That is severely wrong. Okay. So nose down. Come on. There we go. Sort of. What a terrible... By the way, I'm very cynical and I'm very mean. So no one tells me. So if you don't like me just being constantly cynical during my live stream, then scoot, go away. Bye-bye. Because I just complain the entire time. I am your stomach after eating the worst thing you've ever had. I am the toe fungus in between your toenails. I am your grandmother that you've been living with for 25 years. Okay. Did that get a laugh? Okay, good. I'm in the right crowd. All right. In any case, I hope you guys are having a blessed day. I do mean that quite honestly. I hope that God's working in your life and doing some cool stuff. And I still am a mean hag, so welcome to the live stream. All right, let's go ahead and trim down a little bit. Also noticing, I'm going to pull back on our prop just the tiniest bit, because, I mean, we're doing 140 knots, a little overkill here for this little bird. So we're going to just chill out here. So how you guys doing? Anyone in the stream? You are more than welcome to talk. I'm your big brother here on YouTube. That's what I like to say. I'm here to support you. Not everyone knows that sometimes you just need someone there to listen. That is what I believe very firmly, that sometimes you don't need people to help you sometimes. Maybe you just need to complain. Maybe you just need to vent. Maybe you just had a bad day. Well, I do offer advice, and I'm not a licensed therapist, just a previous youth pastor. And I give way too much advice, but I can promise you I will listen. I know that we've all had rough times. My wife and I just went through a pretty rough one last 2 nights. You ever heard of the norovirus? Nola virus? It's something like that. It's really bad, and it causes you to like severely vomit for forever. And she has been going through that for the last day and just finally got over it. And apparently it's highly contagious, so I'm really hoping I didn't get it. Well, no. Let's see, what's the white globe? The white globe is where we are going. That is our landing point 22 nautical miles away, called Saint-Louis-de-Rennes, which I have no idea what that means. But apparently that is where we are taking our airplane to drop it off for our person that we are flying it for. Now, the nice thing is one of these buttons here completely turns off that function so we don't have to see it. And we can fly like it's a real situation, which I would much prefer, but frankly, we get docked if we don't fly through the gates. And we lose points if we don't do it that way. So we're going to do this the gaming way. I'm sorry if you don't like it. Scoot, go on. Bye-bye. We finally got our A rating. People are starting to notice us in this video game in the career mode. So I'd like to keep that, if you know what I mean. Oh man, I love this yoke system. This is cool. And no, it does not mean that I am using eggs. A yoke is a airplane's way of controlling. What you're looking at right here, that is an airplane yoke. Y-O-K-E. So we are using a yoke that I got on Facebook Marketplace. And I am enjoying it very much. It's so much fun to play with an airplane when you can fly it like it's supposed to be flown. Very nice. Cheers to you, my friends. Cheers to you. Welcome to the live stream. Well, you will never figure out who I am because I do 10 accents every 5 minutes. Like I said, I'm your big brother here on YouTube. Your big brother's annoying. That's how it goes. And we're flying, and we're flying, and we're not falling. We're flying, baby. Little right rudder, see if we can kind of point ourselves back in the right direction here. Yes, I could follow a very specific header beacon, but I haven't learned all the buttons yet of this thing. I can push a couple of these, and let's see what happens. There you go. So there's our comms that I don't give a care about, so we'll hide those away. Here's our knee board. On the knee board, we can check out our... It'd be kind of cool if one of these things actually kind of controlled the knee board so I didn't have to do anything. Excuse me. Ugh, nasty burp. I'm usually very good at those, but tonight I'm hoping they're not turning into something else that I dare not think about. All right, so let's see here. So here's our flight planner. And we are halfway. That's nice. We're already halfway there. That's cool. Halfway to our landing into EDRJ. And praise God, it looks like that might actually be a real airport. Oh boy, I hope that there's landing lights there. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here's hoping that there's some landing lights there, because that would make my day much easier. We'll find out in 12 nautical miles whether or not I'm going to crash this little beast. Because if I can't see where I'm landing, what's the point? All right, total flight hours, 8. Total flight distance, 1,200 miles. Airports visited, 30. Total takeoffs, 40. Total landings, 21. Don't do the math. Okay. Let's see here. So on our flight planner, I mean, yes, we have this thing here, but we also have stuff that we could do for Dead Reckoning, which I don't know if I want to deal with that, but I'm kind of curious about it just to take a look. So if we look at our course right now, we know that on our map here, we're making our way to TRD P1. And I don't see that here, so it's the airport here, which is EDRJ. So if I go en route and we look down here, TRD P1, we're supposed to be 2,624 feet off the ground. Right now, we are 2,800 feet at the moment, so we're in the ballpark easily. Our heading should be 70 degrees, and right now we are looking at our ball. We're not quite 70 degrees, but we're still in the ballpark. So if we do, let me see which button I need to push to do this. This one? There you go. So right now, oh yeah, we're 70 degrees. Yeah, we're close enough. So technically what I could do is we could turn off this guy and we could fly this route. And technically we could also fly by GPS too. So we could use this as our little gauge and leave it up and follow that. That's what I'll do. I'm just going to take this and make it its own screen, and I'll move it off screen so you guys don't have to see it. How about that? There you go. Now you can just watch me fly, because obviously I'm the center of attention. I love entertainment, and I am the best of the entertainment that there is. So enjoy. Enjoy it. You've got imagination, employ it. Can you fly at Malaysia after this? Well, I'm only doing the missions at this moment, so probably not, because I've been doing the missions. So I don't think that there's. Are you out of Malaysia? Is Malaysia home base for you? I've had some international people hang out with me. All right. So we're going to be coming in for a landing here soon. I would love to know where the runway is. I don't see a runway. I don't see a runway. I don't see a runway. Do you see a runway? I don't see a runway. Oh, boy. Okay. We're going to go ahead and hit enter. Contact arrival. For the airport that I can't see.
Echo Delta Romeo Juliet traffic. Foxtrot Hotel Lima Bravo Victor. 5 miles southwest. 3,300. Inbound to land. Runway 25. Echo Delta Romeo Juliet.
Okay. I'm going to slow down because we're coming into our first base turn here. So, this is going to be great. So, if I'm understanding my math correctly, I should be. It might be hidden by my column here. I'm hoping that's the case. Once we get to my first waypoint here, which we're going to be coming up on here in just a few moments, we're going to start slowing down a bit more here. Well, thank you so much for hanging out from Malaysia. Very cool. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to begin our turn now, which should fly us directly over the airport. The thing that we're doing is flying directly over where we're supposed to land. So hopefully we'll see something that looks a little bit like a runway. Whoa, I'm not turning fast enough, apparently. Yep, nope. If it's anywhere, I'm supposedly past it now. So if it's anywhere, it's supposed to be right there in that pitch darkness. Lovely. That's great. That's what I'm so excited about. Okay, so let's... This is going to end very badly. For everyone watching, I don't understand why Microsoft Flight Simulator's missions are at night at airports that don't have airport lights. But this is the point. Okay, so throttling back a bit more. This is going to stink. Okay, we are turning now. 10 degrees of flaps. Max speed over exceeded, which I hate because I do that all the time. I'm going to do another one. So now we're 20 degrees of flaps. As we get our final turn here into our leg towards base. I'm a little ahead of myself. We're not near the leg towards base quite yet, but let me level out here. Okay, I'm going to trim down because we're still climbing and I don't want to be climbing. There we go. Just doing the gentle controls with my trims at this point. Okay. All right, now... The reason why you fly directly over the airport is so you know where the airport is. And literally, how useless is that? We're going to be flying in via our GPS. So if I show this on the map here real quick, I am probably going to be using this little tiny image to have the best clue on if I'm actually landing properly, which is going to stink. I don't see it either. Nowhere. We are landing in pitch black. So if this mission is successful, I will be stunned. Just stunned. Okay. We're going to go ahead and begin our turn to base now. Making adjustments so I can see through my little map thing, because this is probably the best we're going to get. Taking my trim down a little bit. All right. Thank you. I'm going to need it, Monsieur. I'm going to need it. All right, so we got our turn to base and then our final. We will be landing in pitch black. All right. Here we go. So, once again, this is our turn to final. Leveling out. We are almost 1,000 feet. I need to keep coming down. Going to throttle down. An extra 10 degrees of flaps. Now our turn to final. We will need to make this quickly. Okay, it says that we are on final. I am apparently lined up with a runway of some sort, which I have no proof. The only thing I have to go on now.
Juliet traffic. Foxtrot Hotel, Lima Bravo Victor is on final. Runway 25 to land.
I have no visual.
Romeo Juliet.
I see trees. Oh gosh, what is going on here? Oh, that's trees. That might mess up my reputation in the game just slightly, just a tiny bit. I was over the runway, so it said. Supposedly, I guess. Sure. And here's what I hate: they bring me back, and I have to do it again, which I am not, because why and where seems slightly unrealistic. So we're going to abort the mission. Can you say bah humbug? Bah humbug. Thankfully, it apparently doesn't affect my reputation, which I find colossally funny. Let's go back to our missions. So here's the thing. I like that mission. Cessna 185 Skywagon. Let's see what time frame they're expecting me to fly. Look at this. 4:28 a.m. Arrive at 4:58 a.m. The sun will not be up by then. So let's manage the flight plan and see if there is a way to change when we handle this delivery. If there is not a way to change this, I will be very frustrated. Okay, manage our flight plan. Can I change when we take off? Performance. Block off block time. Payload. So I just want to change the time of day that we're doing this. Clouds. That just turns off the clouds in the area. See full briefing. Free cam. Manage flight plan. Expand and collapse. Import. Route. Oh, I wish I could pop my neck. Settings. More apps. See, that doesn't make any sense. So I can add waypoints. Find route. Jet Airways. Change. Time. Doesn't show the time frames. Shows the runway. See, and this is it. Right now, 3:30 in the morning UTC. And I think because we're flying... What's this? EFB. No, that's not what I want. Close EFB. Tab. All right, I got to do a Google search here real quick. How do I change the time of day in career mode Flight Simulator 2024? To change the time of day in career mode, use the time slider in the mission selection menu. So let's go back. So here's missions. Filters. Specializations, no. Difficulty, no. Aircraft model, no. That's our filters, though. So, wait a minute. Missions list. What is this? Okay. Satellite view. What's this one? Airports. Landmarks. Live traffic. Multiplayer. Friends. Let's see. To change time of day in career mode, use the time slider in the mission selection menu, unlocked after instrument rating. Do I have my instrument rating? I fly at night, so wouldn't that be instrument rating? Oh.
in our passenger mission. So there's a great way of doing this. As you can see, I just logged in. I just chose a random mission, a random cargo mission. And as you can see, it says August 15, 9:34, which is absolutely not correct. And there is a way of doing it. You just go into the options, controls, and you type in here Zulu. And basically what you have to do, set Zulu minutes, make a shortcut for this and anything you want, okay? And just go back to our simulator, to our fly, open the EFB again, and now just press that shortcut, and it brings you to the top of your current hour. So for example, for me it's 8:24 in the morning, and brought me to the 8 o'clock. So
Whoa.
basically it gives you top of your current hour, and it also changes your weather and changes your time of the day. And as I said, if you want to fly night missions with your passenger or cargo missions, this is the way of doing this. I don't know exactly how this works, but it's the closest way of doing this to the way we want to have it in the sim. So that
I see, said the blind man. So let's go here, and let's go to controls, and let's go to search, Zulu. Set Zulu day. Minutes, year, hours. Okay, so I don't know if there's a programming that I want to do. Oh, maybe this. Would this work? He did the minutes, didn't he? So we'll do minutes. And let's apply to all airplanes and hit OK. And then let's set Zulu day, and I'm going to program that one to be this. I hope I don't regret that. Okay, now let's go to search by input and see what this button does. Oh, views. Can I delete that? Because I haven't gotten to mess with that very much yet. I'd like to mess with that. Well, I don't know. We're just gonna try it. I mean, what do I got to lose, right? Everything. I'm sorry, what? All right, we'll do the Skywagon. See, 435 to 505. And I can't control it. I guess the question is, will I lose points for moving time forward? And the second question to that is, if I press the button that he programmed, then right now it's pitch black outside. It's 9:35 p.m. my time. So it's pitch black out if I was to fly in this sense of the time or not. So, did I program the right button to change it today? And if so, what's going to happen? So this is where my brain's at. So let's go ahead and fly. And if I mess this up, I mess it up. I'm learning for all of us. Not that any of us care, but I'm doing it anyway. We're doing this. Okay, so let's do skip. And let's also go ahead and hop right into the aircraft for our takeoff. Okay? Oh, and actually, I think this is a carrier load. I meant to do a delivery, but this is fine. Come on, baby. Okay.
It's Catherine Doucette. Thanks for accepting the job.
All right, here we go.
I'm your contact here. The bird we've got to ferry back to Ensign
Oh!
is a newly overhauled 185 Skywagon.
It's changing something.
This aircraft's just been repaired, and the owner needs it flown back to a field near his place.
But it's not.
Quentin Polly's, and he is waiting at the destination to pick it up. Fly safe, pilot.
Okay, so hang on, because I like this. I feel like it's doing something of what I'm hoping for. Let's go back here and go Zulu. By the way, I'm a Mr. Fix-It. I love doing this stuff. So if you guys don't like this stuff, then by all means, go find another channel that's going to be more your desire. Because trust me, this is what I do. And I get off on tangents, and I love my tangents. So if this doesn't call to you, totally get it. Love you guys. Get out of here before you get angry at me, because that will happen. Maybe that's not the best choice of button for this. What if I programmed in... There aren't any other buttons on this, right? And then there's nothing over here on this quadrant that I want to mess with. Actually, there is... Hang on. What's this one? Let's do input, search by input. We're going to hit this one. Wrong device. Oh, that's because it's the flight quadrant system. Okay. Okay, so if we do the search by input, this button simply did not work. So when I did minutes and I pushed that button, the camera turned and looked out the side window. I'm assuming that's because it was a smart camera. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to unbind this one. Unbind with backspace. Okay. Now let's do a search for this one. And, oh, reset cockpit view. That's literally a button I was looking for earlier. So I kind of really want that one, and I kind of want to keep that one, even though it did work. Let's backspace this one. What's this one do? Search by input. Smart cam target. Perfect. I could care less. So we're going to just go set to all aircraft. We're going to hit OK. And now we're going to get out of here, and we're going to go to Zulu. Okay. And we're going to go to set Zulu hours and program that into joystick button, joystick button 3. And let's see what happens now. So we're going to save and go back, resume. Nothing's happening. It's not changing anything. So I would love for it to jump forward, and it is not doing that. I can actually look at that. It's set it to midnight. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's setting it to midnight because that's the day that we have going on. So, okay. Like I said, I solve problems. That's what we're doing here. So we're going to go back to controls. We're going to do Zulu. Zulu. Okay. We're going to delete this one. Scan canceled. Backspace. We're going to set minutes to this one, which is the one that he had said. Scan canceled. Why are you canceling it? It's not accepting it. Huh. It's not accepting that programming now. Interesting. Why is that the case? Huh. So let's make sure everything's unbound. There's no way to do that. Scan. And it shows joystick button 3, but it's not accepting it. It's not accepting anything. Huh. Interesting. And annoying. Okay. Let's see if there's any other programmings that are being done through the keyboard for Zulu. Doesn't look like it. So let's see what happens if we do page up. You're not accepting any programming, period. It's accepting page up and page down. Oh, well, why does it say you page up? Okay. Scanning, scan, cancel. So there's something really weird going on here that I do not like. Page up, page up. Page up. I'm hitting it once and letting it go. Like I said, I want to figure this out. So if you don't like it, I wonder if it's not about Zulu. Maybe it's about setting. Maybe there's a way to push time backwards and forwards without doing it Zulu. If that's the case, then that might be an alternate method that might work a little better. So, scan canceled. And of course, it's saying everything, so we're going to backspace out of that. Stop it. Scan canceled. Unbind. Look at that. It's not unbinding, so I got a problem. Like, what is U? Why is U being hit? Like, I kind of want out of this entirely. Okay. Exit to make menu here. I'm wondering if I need to exit the game entirely too, but let's go back to controls, and instead of Zulu, let's change it to time. Time. Decrease altimeter. Nope, nothing there. Date. Nope, that's validate. Just for giggles, let's put in weather. Nothing. So, in my humble opinion, the closest we got is that Zulu setup, and that doesn't work. Well, we did find out that if we're in career mode, apparently there's a way to move it forward. If we have our not VFR, instrument flight rating, which we don't have yet. Manage your altitude without outside references. So I need to take this course. Oh, I don't want to do this. Because if this gives us the ability to then change time once I own this, then great. It's a bunch of different courses here, though. And I know the majority of this stuff, but... Alright, we're just going to do it. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you're cool with playing along with this. I hate these little courses. Why is that on? What is this? Something seriously wrong is going on. Hang on. I don't like this. I can't. There's usually really bad AI vocals going on here and everything, so I'm going to reboot this game. Hang on just a second, my friends. Just going to reboot this whole game. Less chance of error. I would rather do that just to make sure that it resets everything for us. No excuses, no reason for it to be stupid. May as well do this the right way, right? I know you're on board with me, so bear with me a second. We'll get this rebooted up real quick. That way we can all enjoy ourselves. Why waste our time trying to fix things when we can just reboot everything and we'll be good to go? There we go. We'll get this rebooted. It'll be fine, my darling. It'll be fine. We'll get this going. And we'll be back in the air in no time. No time. No time at all. No time at all. No time at all. Okay. Xbox Game Studio. From Asobo Studio. And all these other people that no one care about. All right. Asobo sounds like a hand soap. All right, here we go. Activating packages. Do I have anything from Amazon? Like some plastic lube, which I gotta find. I bought some years ago for these headphones, and it worked magically. But I don't remember where I put it after that, so I might just run out and buy some. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Let's go in here. First off, really quickly, I want to see the controls. I want to make sure we go Zulu. Nothing's programmed in, so that's good. It didn't save the previous settings. Let's see now if we go into career mode. And let's pop into our specialties. And I don't think it's specialties. I think it's certifications. And we're working on our instrument flight rating. And we're doing climb and descent as our first training. Start training. See, the thing is, they make this for beginners. And I am not a beginner. But I'm going to take it anyway. Because I'm a good guy. Yeah, about that. All right, we'll get there. We will get there. Oh, we will get there. Here we go. Hit enter.
We're flying over the UK's Shetland Islands, just below a thick layer of clouds. Up until now, you've been able to look outside to judge the aircraft's attitude and location. What happens when you lose that outside view? That takes us into the world of instrument flight. When you can't use the horizon for reference due to clouds, darkness, or other hindrances to visibility, you'll need to rely on your airplane's instruments. When flying on instruments alone,
Whoa.
you need to rely on your attitude indicator to see your pitch and roll information. Modern cockpits like this combine several instruments into one electronic display, called a primary flight display, or PFD. Stay on heading 270, set full power, and climb up to 4,500 feet. Set full power for the climb.
Full power for the climb. All right, we are climbing already. Reach 45,000.
To the cloud layer. Notice how you're starting to lose your outside view.
Oh, it's gone.
Looking out the canopy, focus your attention on the cockpit instruments. You can maintain wings level using the attitude indicator. Continue climbing to 4,500 feet. You needed to maintain heading 270. Watch your heading. Maintain heading 270.
Okay.
Maintain heading 270.
Oh, please shut up.
Watch your heading. Maintain heading 270.
Oh my gosh. He's mean. My plane keeps turning a little bit to the right.
Using the vertical sped indicator and the altimeter, level off at 4,500 feet while continuing to maintain a heading of 270. Now fly straight and level at 4,500 feet, getting used to not having an outside horizon for reference.
Okay. Okay. Trimming down just to save myself some time. Trimming up just to save myself some time. And rotating back to 2,700 so he doesn't yell at me again.
Okay, now keep us on this heading and take us down to 4,000 feet. Reduce
Okay.
power so that we can descend without gaining speed.
Now I'm off on my heading again.
Watch your speed.
I'm watching it.
On your speed control. Great. Increase power again for cruise and keep us at 4,000 feet. Increase the power again so that we don't get too slow. Try to maintain 4,000 feet altitude.
We got it.
To maintain 4,000 feet.
Ah! It's going to give me an aneurysm.
Try to maintain 4,000 feet altitude. You needed to maintain 4,000 feet.
Trust me, I'm going to pass myself whether you pass me or not. There.
I think a bit more practice may be a good idea.
Shut up. Yeah, training complete. I know what I'm doing. Good heavens. The AI are so, they're so just angry. They're so, you need to be doing this. Stay at this. No, you didn't do good enough. You're not there fast enough. You can only get there in so much amount of time. Shut up, please. This tutorial will teach you how to change directions when you cannot rely on external references. In this lesson, you'll be introduced to multiple key elements of the G1000's primary flight display. Perform some 20-degree turns while following different headings, maintaining an altitude of 4,000 feet. I'm going to start hitting 4,000 feet. I want this thing to go away. Like, I don't know how to get rid of that, but...
Some climbs and descents, we'll introduce turning. Throughout this lesson, maintain your current altitude of 4,000 feet.
Okay.
Our heading is the direction our nose is pointing, measured in degrees. The main electronic display in front of you is the primary flight display, or PFD. At the bottom center of the PFD, we see the horizontal situation indicator, or the HSI. The HSI shows us the direction our nose is pointing, called our heading. Headings are measured in degrees, with east being 090, south 180, west 270, and north 360. Currently we're heading west. That's 270 degrees.
Well, it's actually really bumpy.
We want to aim for a bank angle of around 20 degrees. Along the top of the attitude indicator are white lines. Each line represents 10 degrees. Normally we use about 20 degrees of bank, which is the second white line. Let's try it out. Make a turn to the left onto heading 180, using 20 degrees of bank.
Okay.
Until heading south, at which point, smoothly roll back to wings level.
Okay. Let's trim up so I don't get called out for not being at 4,000 degrees.
Maintain 4,000 feet while flying. Maintain 4,000 feet.
I'm just going to make him angry.
Stop turning there and you'll be heading due south. Heading 180. Great. Now try and maintain this heading for a short while.
Well, I'm doing better than I was. Okay, trim down to...
Turn to the right onto a heading of 350.
All right, turning to the right. Heading 350, so we're turning a while. Guess we're going 360 is north. 360. So 350. Okay. Need to come up.
You didn't maintain 4,000 feet.
Oh, please shut up. You sound like an AI. 'Cause you are.
Now smoothly roll wings level onto a heading of 350.
Okay.
Now maintain heading 350 for a bit.
Yeah, all right. Trimming down. 350. Nailed it.
Wow, great job. So that's how we make turns using just the instruments. Next we'll look at how to handle speed changes.
I'm just babying this thing through. $100%. Thing I don't like is my rudder is always off. Always. And so I need to program something into this that helps me to trim out my rudder. Because no matter what happens, my plane's always rotating. And that could be because of the plane itself, and you would trim it out. But I don't have any of those trims in my new system here. I did in the old. So I'm not sure. All right. Tutorial will teach you how to maintain a constant pitch altitude as you speed and lift changes. All right. Here we go. Okay. So we're reading 4,000 feet.
Cruising at 100 knots, maintaining our heading and altitude. Let's look at how we deal with speed changes when flying on instruments. When slowing down, the wings produce less lift. To counter this, you'll need to progressively raise the nose in order to maintain altitude. Give it a try. Reduce power and bring the speed back to 70 knots.
Wow, what is going on with my plane right now? Because I did not do that.
Remember to adjust the elevator trim so that you don't have to keep putting any pressure on the controls.
Well, but everything's going wacky, so I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. 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 All right, trimming up. Slowing down even more. Trimming up. Still trimming up. Still trimming up. Even more.
Try to maintain 4,000 feet altitude.
Yeah, too late. Throttle up.
Good. Now set power to maintain 70 knots. You need to be able to control altitude while adjusting speed.
Set power to keep 70 knots. So I'm going to pull back my power. And I'm still dropping out of the sky like a brick. So
Notice how the nose needs to be a little higher than before to make up for the loss of airspeed.
right.
Use the elevator trim to adjust pitch to the new sped and maintain 70 knots for a bit.
Sped. And maintain 70 knots for a bit.
Great, now increase power to get your speed back up to 100 knots.
Okay. Take care, Monsieur. You have a great night. Thanks for hanging. Okay, so let's get back up to 4,000 because that's part of the deal here. Okay, and then we're going to trim down now to get back our speed until we get to 100 knots.
As we speed up, notice how you need to trim nose down to avoid climbing. That's it. Now stabilize at 100 knots.
All right, nose up. Nose up. I mean, this is teaching me microcontrolling pretty well, so I can't really complain.
Good. Now extend the flaps to 10 degrees.
No, wait a minute. I'm not at...
Attain 4,000 feet altitude. Now set flaps at 20 degrees. With the extra drag, start adding power so you don't drop below your target airspeed of 60 knots.
Oh, gosh.
You need to be able to control altitude while adjusting speed. Keep us steady on heading 350.
Okay.
Now stabilize at 60 knots and trim for level flight.
60 knots. And trim for level flight. So we need to come down here. There we go.
Keep us precisely at 60 knots.
60.
Great job. Next we'll look at navigating on instruments alone.
It's not spooky at all. Okay. Navigational aids, or nav aids, remain an alternative to modern GPS navigation, allowing pilots to locate and orient themselves thanks to radio frequencies communicated from ground stations directly to aircraft cockpit instruments. Knowing how to navigate using the most popular of these nav aids, VOR, remains an essential skill to master while flying IFR. Let me get this garbage can out of my way because it's kind of locking my legs in where I don't want to be locked in. There we go. Okay.
Now that you have the basics of flying the aircraft on instruments, let's look at navigation. There is a worldwide network of radio beacons that pilots use to find their way when flying IFR. The most common beacon is the VOR. I've tuned the Sunbrook VOR into your NAV radio, which we're going to fly toward. To get there, we'll use the course deviation indicator, CDI. That's the green arrow and bar on the HSI. I've set the CDI for a course of 170. That means we want to arrive at the VOR on a heading of 170. The CDI shows us if we are on our selected course. If the bar is to the left of center, we need to fly to the left to recapture our course. The bar is currently over to the right, so keep flying on this heading and wait for the CDI bar to start moving towards the middle.
I'm expecting it to move any moment now.
Here it comes. Now make a left turn onto heading 170.
Okay, 20 degrees to 170. 170. Doing 30 degrees now, but it's okay. No one cares, right? Oh boy.
Great. Now keep the CDI bar centered and it'll take us to the VOR.
Yo. How am I still at 4,000 feet right now? Okay. Whoops. I'm off. So let's go 170. And there. Okay, now it should come back and we should be fixed. Come on, baby.
Turn towards the CDI bar to keep it centered.
Working on it.
You needed to keep the green CDI
Would you
bar-
please shut up? Okay, here we go. Trimming up to get us closer to 4,000. Okay. Leveling out. Leveling out. So leveling out. Not leveling out. Compensating.
We're getting close to the VOR now. The CDI indications might become erratic or disappear when reaching a VOR, but this is normal. Keep flying straight ahead on heading 170 for a couple miles. You were way off on altitude holding.
Okay.
Maintain 4,000 feet altitude.
Yeah, that VOR is erratic. It's gone. Do we have a new heading, I guess? Oh. We must have passed over it, so now it's coming back and pointing from the opposite direction, maybe? No, because my header beacon would show the opposite direction, too. Interesting. Or would that lower line be that? Okay, we're at 170, and we're at 4,000 feet. I mean, we're like following orders here pretty specifically, so there's not a...
A bit more practice may be a good idea.
Yeah, but I got it, so I don't care. I got it, so I don't care. Still, I am constantly fighting with this thing trying to pull the wrong direction. Interception, fly VOR. Well, no one's here, so I'm going to go look around really quick for a few things. I'll be back. Okay, for better or for worse, and due to just not being good at being patient. We're going to try WD-40 on this. And see how much we regret it. Because I feel like it's seizing up. Not seizing up, but it's getting not as smooth the more I do this. So we're going to help it along here. Come on, stay still. There we go. Let's move it back and forth a bit. Okay. So far, it's just not the happiest. Kind of just gets stuck at a key point, so I'm assuming that it might have a rubber bushing or a plastic bushing, and that might be part of my problem. And that bushing might be catching. So this WD-40 is what I tried. It's a multi-use product, so you'd hope that might do something, but yeah, it's just, it's not the smoothest thing ever. And let me wipe down this bar. There's a bit of dirt on it, not much though, barely any. So it's not the most amazing, not the biggest deal at this point, I don't think. Like I said though, if I could find that other stuff. Pulling it all the way out here, trying to clean this up. I mean, that is pretty lubricated. Alright, we're just going to work it a little bit, see if that does anything. Alright, and then the other thing that I want to do is program in a... guess we can kind of let that sit and soak in a little bit while I do this. Let's go back to certification and go into my settings and see if I can program in one of these for left and right. So right now my trim is here. So let's go here. And controls. So right now, search by input. If we go to the flight yoke. Right now, toggle landing gear. Cockpit camera side right, lockable. Auto exposure, cursor right. Okay, if we do this on here. Toggle parking brakes, cockpit lockable. Toggle autofocus cursor left. So right now we've been using the parking brakes and the other one. Now, up and down is our flaps, I believe. Yes. So I'd rather leave that alone. In saying that, though, what is this one? This is kind of like an all-around button. Kind of use for everything kind of button. Which, I need a use for everything kind of button, but well, I had a thought, but I don't have a thought right now. What was this side? Because I think this one was actually... Yep, elevator trim down, cockpit interaction increase, focus increase. Okay, elevator trim up. Exposure increase, exposure decrease. This is what we are going to change. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. And we're going to then go to this one. And we're going to unbind that. Now we're going to go aileron trim. All right, aileron trim left. We're going to go this way. Aileron trim right, we're going to go this way. Okay. And we're going to apply that to all aircraft. Yes. Apply this one to all airplanes. Yes. Now, when I'm flying, if I need to trim up and down, there. Trim left and right, which I always need to do, right there. Okay. We'll see how that does. Because I hate this constant pull. And if it's a real thing, then I want it. But RNAV. Most modern aviation navigation methods revolve around the Global Navigation System, or GNS system, an international constellation of satellites providing positioning. You probably know the most popular of these constellations, the American Global Positioning System, or GPS. Keep moving this back and forth to see if I can get this grease to stick a little better. Okay.
The VOR system is a classic for navigating via instruments, but modern
Okay.
technology has opened the door for new navigation tools. Our flight plan is made of multiple GPS waypoints. We can use those to guide us when we can't count on visibility. For this lesson, we're going to follow a similar trajectory as in the VOR tutorial, flying over Sumburg Airport while maintaining an altitude of 4,000 feet. The system looks very similar to the VOR on the avionics. We'll use the CDI. That's the pink arrow and bar on the HSI. Looking at our flight plan, we can see that we're supposed to arrive at the waypoint on a heading of 170. The CDI shows us if we are on our selected course. We've deviated on purpose so that you can see how to catch up to your intended trajectory. Just like with VOR, the gap between the bar and the CDI arrow shows us the direction that we need to head towards to catch up to our course. The bar is currently over to the right, so keep flying on this heading and wait for the CDI bar to start moving towards the middle. You were way off on altitude holding. Here it comes. Now make a left turn onto heading 170. Try to maintain 4,000 feet altitude.
Okay, we're climbing with our trim. We're making our turn to 170. I like it.
Great. Now keep the CDI bar centered and it'll take us to the waypoint.
Okay. Keeping CDI centered as soon as I get in there. And then I'll level out since obviously this is our CDI. There we go. Climb up a bit higher. And turning to 170. All right, 170. Trimming to the right. Trimming to the right some more. There we go. Trimming to the left. There we go. Dropping my trim because it just took off for some weird reason. There we go. We're sitting right in it. Says we're 4 nautical miles out from that waypoint, so we should be here in a second. 3.8. Alright, I'm pretty trimmed up, so there's not much of an excuse. Okay. 3.2 nautical miles. Okay. We're doing this thing. .3 nautical miles out. There's an airport under us, I think.
We're getting close to the waypoint now. The CDI indications might become erratic or disappear when reaching a GPS waypoint, but this is normal. Keep flying straight ahead on heading 170 for a couple of miles.
Okay. DDK 0. Now the whole thing's going to turn. There we go. Well, we're still holding strong on exactly what we want to be doing. Okay.
Wow, great job. When you have to catch up with your flight plan, you can see that it is very similar to the VOR navigation system, but it also allows for more complex and custom routes.
Okay. %60 interception. That's interesting. ILS approach. Things are about to get spooky. Get us back down to Earth with the assistance of the most common type of instrument landing aid in use today, the instrument landing system. The ILS transmits two different sets of data. The airplane's instruments to the airplane's instruments, a localizer and a glide scope. The localizer provides a lateral guidance, while the glide scope provides vertical guidance. Spooky.
So now you've got the basics of flying on instruments. Now we need to get back on the ground. The most common landing aid is the Instrument Landing System, or ILS for short. An ILS uses two directional radio signals, one for lateral guidance called a localizer and the other for vertical guidance slope is displayed next to the altimeter on your PFD. If the green glide slope diamond is above center, you are below the glide path. We always start out below the glide slope, as we want to intercept the localizer first. We'll wait for the glide slope to start moving.
Okay. Getting our localizer on. Come on, localizer.
Here comes the glide slope. Maintain 1,500 feet until it almost reaches the center.
Okay, I'm a little high. And I'm still trying to get our localizer on. Come on, baby. Don't fight with me. Oh, now I'm too low. Correcting with my trim. Okay, localizer is on. Okay. Okay.
Here it comes. Now reduce power a little and start to descend, using the VSI to aim for 500 feet per minute.
Okay.
Keep both the localizer and glide slope indications centered all the way down to the ground. Reduce speed and set flaps as needed as you make your way down the ILS.
Okay. This is kind of spooky. This is the first time I think I've ever tried to do this correctly. My brain is wandering back to when I was a kid, trying to remember how you would have handled the glide slope in the past, because I don't think glide slope was a thing when I did Flight Simulator when I was younger. So I don't know what the technique was, say, 15 years ago, maybe. Okay. 700. I mean, it's where...
Approaching the runway. This approach has an offset, meaning that the localizer and runway aren't lined up together exactly. Focus on following the ILS for now. We'll transition to a visual landing once we're closer to touchdown. Make only small corrections and remember that each will be more critical as we approach touchdown.
Right now, we're coming in way too low. Okay.
Great. Now is a good time to transition from flying on instruments to using visual cues to complete the landing. Get us down onto the runway and then come to a smooth stop.
10-4. This is beautiful. Cool. Kind of proud of myself. Whoa.
But there's room for improvement.
No, there isn't. I'm amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. Nice. Okay, my first ILS. All right, IFR flight test. Here we go. It's the big shebang. This is the real deal.
All right, it's time to put what you've learned into practice. We're at 5,000 feet following a GPS route toward Sunberg. I'll ask you to perform some handling tasks to test your IFR flying skills. Follow the GPS, as shown in magenta on your CDI, maintaining 5,000 feet and 110 knots. Okay, still maintaining the GPS course, take us down to 3,500 feet, keeping 110 knots airspeed. Next, keep us at 3,500 feet and make a left turn onto heading 060.
060.
Keep us at 3,500 feet. You didn't hold your altitude accurately enough. All right, let's throw some other things your way. Please bring the speed back to 70 knots.
Flaps down to help me get my speed down. I need to keep climbing, though, frankly, to be at 3,500 feet. So I'm going to get my nose up and speed up now to compensate.
All right, now keep us at 3,500 feet, 70 knots, and turn us to the right onto heading 225.
Okay. Turn us to the right, heading 225. And I would like to climb, if I can, just a tiny bit. A little bit more throttle. Okay, 69. Bit more throttle. I'm doing a lot more trim work than I thought I would be doing. Okay. Trim out. Trim out, trim out, trim out, trim out. Throttle down, throttle down, throttle down, throttle down. Okay. 225, right? That's what he said, right? Heading 225. So we're going to keep turning.
Watch the speed. We want 70 knots. Keep us at 3,500 feet. You need to work on your speed control.
Oh, why don't you shut up?
110 knots. You didn't hold your altitude accurately enough.
225.
225.
225.
You wandered too far off heading.
225. And we need to be up higher, probably where those gates are. probably lining us up with the runway right now. Okay, a little bit more throttle. Will help us climb just a touch. Okay. Slowing down. 230. Turn back this way just a touch for 225. 225. Okay. And I'm within bounds now. So I'm going to level my plane out. Okay. We're level now. And drop the nose, slow down. Perfect, right there. Right there is what I want. Okay. Oh, accelerate to 110 knots.
Keep us at 3,500 feet.
All right, I'm doing it.
You didn't hold your altitude accurately enough.
Flaps down, up, I mean. All right, slow back here because it's going to come up fast. Trim this a little bit to the right. A few more clicks to the right. Yeah, full throttle. A few more clicks to the right. As I keep turning.
Keep us at 3,500 feet.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You didn't hold your altitude accurately enough.
Would you shut up? I can't get my nose down fast enough.
I think a bit more practice may be a good idea.
Huh? Training complete? Huh? I was sure we'd be landing. We didn't land? None of it? Maybe that wasn't the solo. Next training. Yeah, more training, I guess. No, wait, headquarters? Did I actually get my rating, or do I need to take the exam now? Okay, now we take the exam. That makes more sense, I guess. Okay. So, we got some waypoints. EV, TEP, PB271, PB27F. And then I can't see what's inside there. Once the weather turns bad enough for visual flight rules to no longer apply, pilots must rely on their instrument flight rating, or IR, to allow them to fly. Obtaining an instrument flight rating is invaluable to pilots who aspire to check their cell phones for messages from their beautiful wife, because I want to make sure. Oh, okay, there we go. All right. Show what you've learned by performing an approach and landing at Sumburg Airport. Once the weather turns bad. Oh, no, wait, I already saw that. Okay, boom. Yeah, I like this trim wheel so much. Here we go.
I know that this weather can look daunting, but you'll be able to perform your approach by relying on your aircraft's instruments, just like you did in your training.
Okay. Okay, we need to stay at this heading for the moment. Let's go ahead and...
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra. Inbound RNAV runway 27 approach. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra. Tower. QNH 101 tree. Cleared RNAV runway 27 approach.
Okay, acknowledge, please.
RNAV runway 27 approach. Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Descend to 2,100 feet. Okay, so we're trimmed down, throttle down, throttle down. 2,100 feet. I see we're coming in on our localizer. So I'm going to turn in here to center up on the localizer. 2,100 feet is level. Here we go. And we are in our clouds now. All right, definitely now we're below. So I'm going to go ahead and set my horizon line here and turn in to better lock into our localizer. Come on. Get us into the localizer and get us up higher. A little bit more throttle. Okay. That should get us to our localizer unless we're going to get there too quick. We got 3.9 nautical miles until we smack that localizer with a stick. So hopefully turning in about this much won't kill us. 1,700 feet right now. We're still dropping. So let's go ahead and throttle up a tiny bit. Get that nose up. Just enough so we can climb back up. Okay, localizer's coming in. So we're going to go ahead and turn to center up on it. I know we're way below what we should be, but... Okay. Turn a little bit more to come into that localizer. 1,800 feet. 78. So I'm going to put a little bit more throttle behind it, see if I can get us up just a bit higher. Since I don't want to come in too fast. 76. 1,900. Localizer's looking good. We don't have glide slope yet. Straighten out. Let the localizer come to us. Okay, I'm going to level out here at 2,000. Okay. I'm still waiting for that localizer to come under us a little better. We're basically on it. So we're going to roll with that. I'm going to turn to line up with my vector. VOR is in.
You can switch back to visual flight rules before landing. Identifying the runway lights should help you during the transition.
I don't understand. Oh, unless I'm just staying on the... Oh. Okay. Now our next one is here. So we're going to turn... and find our next approach. Let's turn back this way. Come on, little girl. Okay, slow down a little bit. LV nav. Interesting. Okay. So now we're lining up for the P27. Oh, I'm 1,200 feet. Drat, I didn't mean to come down that low. Okay, my bad. Oh, we're right on this thing. I need to turn. I need to turn or else I'm going to lose it. Okay. Trim up, trim up, trim up, up, trim up. We're sitting on it. I'm okay with that. We got 2.2 nautical miles till I need to be overly concerned. If I can just center up on it, that will be good. Come on. There we go. Centered up now. Level out because we are at 1,000 freaking feet. That is no good. We need to be climbing. Okay. So spooky. Just a normal day for a airline pilot. In a much bigger aircraft than we have. Okay. Feel like we're pretty well lined up with that localizer. So I'm going to go ahead and level. We're at 1,200 feet. 264. Just put a little bit more throttle behind this. I'm going to trim right just like 3 clicks because I'm getting off my localizer. All right, next DTK in 1 second. Okay. R27 map. So apparently we are now lined up with our runway as soon as I get closer to this. And I'm tracking off heavily. So, technically, as I come in, damn it. Okay, I am going to slow my way down here. We're 5.6 nautical miles out. Oh, I am swinging. Swinging and missing. I am... All right, I'm taking full control here. I'm done trying to trim this stuff out. Okay, so we're coming back into our localizer. Okay. Okay, trim down. Trim down. Trim down. Trim down. Use it to help you. Acknowledge clearance.
Clear to land runway 27, Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Okay, I'm gonna try and look for it here. I have no visual. And I'm not in alignment, so let's line up a little better. Okay, now we're better aligned to wherever it is. We are 4.4 nautical miles out. I'm gonna add another layer of flaps to help us descend and get that nose down so we don't die. Okay. Still no visual. No visual at all. And we haven't touched our glide slope yet either. So if we haven't, but there's a diamond there, right? It's not the green diamond, it's a diamond. I don't know if that's the one I should be looking for. Now I'm stressed. All right, 62. Okay, I think I see something that looks like a runway on the GPS, but honestly, it feels like cheating to try and line up with that. So I'm going to focus in on that diamond and on my okay. All right. 56. I'm falling out of the sky. 900. There, that diamond there is coming for us. Don't you think? I can't tell. I thought it was green. Okay, let's check out the window. Absolutely nothing. Jackpot. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. I mean, it worked. Oh, but that's frightening. All right, full layers of flaps. We're all in. We're doing 55 coming in quite nicely, in my opinion. Oh, man. I couldn't have been more freaked out for a minute there. Oh, gosh. Woo, my neck's hurting. I have officially learned IFR. That is very cool. Once I learned how to program it into the system, that's the one thing I haven't learned yet. So yes, it's lovely to know how it works and to see it's not as scary as I thought it was when I was a little kid. But still got to learn how to program that into the computers on the airplane and into the GPS. Learn what the difference is of doing it via GPS versus doing it via normal systems. Like if you didn't have a GPS and you had a very old airplane, how are you coming in, with old, antiquated flight instruments? That kind of a thought. All right, we're still on that. I mean, the diamond's a little bit below us now, so technically, that diamond is what we were looking for. So that's good to know. Now it's beneath us, so technically we need to go down a bit more too. So I'm just going to use my trim because it's smoother. There we go. Diamond says we're still on. Slowing down even more. Oh, that's not slowing down. Let's try actually slowing down. Oy. Okay, using the whole yoke now. I don't think we're going to make it. A little bit more throttle. We got some leverage. All right. Dumping it. Oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Contact ground on 118.25.
I guess I needed a second practice of that. That's terrible. Oh, man. When you have full flaps, you truly don't have much leeway. That was embarrassing and a good learning experience. I'm obviously going to have to take that test again. Oh, that stinks. Drat. I'm going to have to take that whole exam again. Now I know. Let's do it again. That stinks. This definitely isn't as smooth. And definitely needs, I'm hoping, a different kind of grease. Kind of wish it had like a Hall effect sensor. I bet you it doesn't. Okay. Let's try this again. That's a big loss. That was such a time waster. Ugh. Okay.
I know that this weather can look daunting, but you will be able to perform your approach by relying on your aircraft's instruments, just like you did in your training.
Okay. 3,500. We are going to get our throttle up at full. Pull back just a little bit because I'm seeing. Where's my... Pulling back my mixture just a tiny bit so I can... There we go. Okay. And now we need to be at 3,500 feet. Okay, 3,500 feet. Contact tower.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray.
Trim out that left turn.
Runway 27 approach.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Power. QNH 101 cleared RNAV runway 27 approach.
Okay. Acknowledge.
Cleared RNAV runway 27 approach. Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
We're coming up on that VOR very quickly. But that's just our first VOR. You know what? I hadn't paid any attention to the GPS on the right side because I was so focused in on just using the system directly in front of me. That could be part of my problem. Okay, flying to PB1 or PBL, I assume. ABCFGHJK. No. I'm not sure why it's labeled the way it is, but hey, that's fine. All right, so I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be at 3,500 feet, but I'm not sure. And at this moment, I'm not overly concerned about it. Having the GPS next to it is a lovely thing, so I'm going to fly much differently and much more calm this time, I think. Now that I have... I wasn't trying to fly in just by watching my little VOR in front of me, which it worked, but I wasn't seeing the broad picture, so this should be a little calmer on my nerves. I hope. It might also help me get there a little quicker, too. So, all right. We're letting the plane fly itself right now. Excuse me. All right, let's go ahead and line up a little better with that VOR. Much better. Okay. Hello. Got a little wind fighting with me here. Let's see if we can get through that a little better. All right. Now, I guess one of my questions at this moment is, what is my height supposed to be? And I forget which... No, that's not what I'm looking for. Nope, that's the one I'm looking for. And then my theory, my question was flight planner at...
You can switch back to visual flight rules before landing. Identifying the runway lights should help you during the transition.
I just want to see how high I'm supposed to be right now. So according to this, when I get to PB27F, I should be at 2,100 feet. Okay, even at when I get to I should be at 2,100 feet, which, so right now, I am at my marker as I'm turning here to get to the final, but 2,100 feet is supposed to be what it is. 61 feet is the final altitude. Okay, so coming down to 2,100 is the main goal. We're going to throttle back and begin our descent into the abyss. Okay, trim out as we get to our reasonable height. Throttle back up just a touch. Trim down. Actually, I'm going to trim up. Climb back up. Now, the thing is, this is my approach. So, technically, I shouldn't have a reason at this moment to do anything except... We're at 1,600 feet. We need to be watching our glide slope now as we turn more into the VOR to line up better with our runway. So let's do this. Our height, I'm going to level out right now. There we go. And start lining ourselves up here. More specifically with our VOR. I'm not using the GPS to do this. This is more the VOR header. So this is the good time now to do this kind of a deal. Which I don't want to be that technical, so we'll go like that. And then can I move? There we go. Something like that. Just so I have both in my view for the moment. I am turning, and I think I'm not there enough. So let's go another 5 degrees this way. Okay. All right. Okay, DTK in 2, 1, 0. Now we're officially lining up with our runway. And what's my height? 8 800 feet? Am I a doofus? I am just above the water. That is miserable. All right, now I should be lining up with a runway here. Okay, any lights? I don't see any lights yet. And I am not even on it, so let's turn back this way. Okay, correct, course correct, course correct. Okay, let's straighten out my camera so I can focus on really lining up with this thing. Okay, here we go, a little bit of right rudder. Still no visual at 800 feet up. Wow. But I'm also very chaotic right now. Thank you. Thank you.
Clear to land runway 27.
Okay, we're gonna throttle back. 10 degrees of flaps. Still no visual at all. With 840 feet. I have such a long way to get to my glide slope. I am way off too. Am I really that way off though? There it is. All right, this time what are we doing different? I'm not sure. Thank you for asking. I think my flaps just knocked me out of the sky much quicker than I intended, so we will correct as we can. Okay. All right. 10 more degrees of flaps. Let's keep this nose down a little bit. We're well above what we should be. Well, well below what we should be. We should be up quite a bit. So we have a long way to go before I even begin to be concerned with meeting my glide slope. I now just need to stay above the water. So we're going to throttle up here for a second, compensate with our trim. And not worry about trying to be Mr. Perfect and only use the IFR. I mean, where's my... There it is. Okay. Let's get the nose down. Just a touch. We are climbing in a good way. We're right on our diamond. We're sitting on the diamond. Now the diamond's below us. So I'm going to go down here. We're going to meet up our diamond. Max speed flaps. We're going to pull back on this. Okay, throttle up, throttle up, throttle up. Just a touch, just a touch, just a touch. Okay, get the nose up, get the nose up, get the nose up. Okay. Okay. Okay, all right, fine, I'm cutting my power back. There, don't ding me again. Okay. Get the nose up, get the nose up. All right, we're good. We should be able to sit right here and come in real nice and smooth. We're up too high, apparently, which is a good thing at this moment. I'm feeling like I'm falling out of the sky, even though apparently I'm not. Okay, still controlling this with my trim. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just going to do throttle and yoke now. No extra help. All right, coming back. Okay. Okay. We got it this time. Okay, 60. A little bit of throttle, a little bit of throttle, a little bit of throttle, a little bit of throttle. Lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Hovered in, hovered in, hovered in. Throttle down. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh. That had to be good enough.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Exit runway when able.
Okay. I have to see where the exit is. Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. All right. We are fully back on the throttle, so let me just tap my brakes here, just in case.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Contact.
Okay. Contact ground.
8.25 for Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Okay. All right, there we go. Request taxi.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Taxi to parking.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway.
Which way? Acknowledge.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway. Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
All right. Okay. Even though the air marshal's saying not to. All right. Whew, we did it.
Unfortunately, you did not pass the test.
What?
Practice some more with your instructor on how to navigate in IFR conditions, and you will be able to pass this test in no time.
But I totally followed it. How did I not pass it? Respect the flight plan altitudes. Respect the designated flight plan. Plane handling. Flaps extended max speed. Wow. Got to do this for a third time. Oh my word. Oh my word. Okay, well, we know 2,100 feet this time, so we can compensate a little better now that I know that. So let's get all these dumped here, because we're going to have problems here in a second. Okay.
I know that this weather can look daunting, but you will be able to perform your approach by relying on your aircraft's instruments, just like you did in your training.
All right, so we're going to drop to
Tower, Cessna Alpha
2,100.
X-ray Golf Sierra. Inbound RNAV runway 27 approach.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Tower. QNH 101 tree. Cleared RNAV runway 27 approach.
Okay. Yes.
Cleared RNAV runway 27 approach. Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
All right, so we're going to get it right this time because we know what we did wrong. 2,600 feet. 25. Leveling out because I know it's going to come up fast. 24. 23. 21. Leveling out. Okay. Header bug says we are still dropping. Okay. We are on our mark. We are good. As long as we sit around 2,000 feet, I don't think they're going to dock us. Okay. We need to turn now. Okay, we're already dropping. Okay. So we're on our mark right now. And we're climbing. I need to be at 2,000 feet. Tiny bit more throttle to help me get back up there. Okay. Launching my... There we go. We're almost in alignment with that. So we're going to call that pretty much aligned. Right about here as we climb back up as quickly as possible because I don't want to get docked for this. Okay, we're here. Close enough, close enough. Level out, please. Okay, come back. There we go. All right, level out. There you go. Watch your heading. Here we go. Okay. Sweet. We're pretty much nailed in here. There's not much better, not much more, not much less that we can do at this point. 2.9 nautical miles until our next vector at PB27I. Could be PB27L, but it's all caps, so PB27I. Okay. Still sitting at a good height. Our speed is reasonable enough to get us by. I think we're sitting well within range of what we need to be accomplishing here. I think my problem is when I turn, I lose altitude, and I don't take that into account. I think that's my problem. Leveling out, compensating for the height. There we go. I'm going to climb back up at 5 degrees to hold that 22,000, give or take.
You can switch back to visual flight rules before landing. Identifying the runway lights should help you during the transition.
Yes, sir. All right. How far do we have? We have 0.7. So we are about ready to make our turn to our next one. So here we go. Let's go ahead and make this turn as we continue to hold 2,000 feet. Let's not mess this one up this time. Okay, coming in on that vector and lining back up. Okay, let's line back this way. Our speed is still good. Everything still seems pretty good. Need to come back on this vector just a tiny bit. Still 2,000 feet. Yeah, we're kicking butt. We're really kicking butt this time. Okay, we're lined up. Okay. Now we need to stay at 2100 until we get to the next vector point. Once we have that, then we'll handle altitude changes. Diamond is in the box. It's on its way down. So our glide slope is marked. Once we hit that glide slope mark on our system, then I will start following it down. And hopefully won't get docked for it this time. It's coming to us pretty quick though, so I'm going to need to change this here pretty fast. I'm also at 98. I need to come way down to get my flaps down. So I'm going to have to figure out how to compensate for that here in a minute. So let's slow down. Keep the nose up. Keep the nose up, keep the nose up, keep the nose up. That's going to get our speed down. I know I'm getting off the runway. Believe it or not, I'm more concerned with holding my altitude, which is unfortunate to say out loud. Okay. All right. Trying to get lined up with the runway a little better. We're at 1900. I need to climb because I'm still not on my diamond for my glide slope. 80, 79. Okay, back on the diamond. Not on the diamond, back on VOR. So we'll line back up with the runway. There we go. Okay. Any second now we should be hitting this diamond, and once we hit, Then we can start our landing. .68, 67, flaps down 10 degrees, a little bit more throttle. We're on our diamond. Leveling out. No visual of the runway yet. Leveling out. 20 degrees of flaps. Leveling out. Still on diamond. No view of the airport yet. Whoops. I accidentally pulled back on it when I shouldn't have. Okay. All right. Still on our diamond. So technically we're holding steady. The runway is still not in view.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, wind 270 at 12. Clear to land runway 27.
Okay, clear to land runway 27.
27.
Cessna.
X-ray Golf Sierra.
Okay. All right. Still no visual. We're 1,500 feet up. No visual of the runway. 72, 73. I'm going to pull back my speed just a touch more because I would like to add more flaps. Wait a minute. I thought I saw the airport for a half a second there. And we're off again, so turning to compensate as we get closer. Okay. Yes, I think I see it. I see a dot. That is all I see as we get lined up here. Still on our diamond, though, so that's good. Yep, all right, I got it. I got it. Okay. Still a little fast. Just going to pull it back a tiny bit more. Oh, yeah, we are so on the ball this time. Okay. 10 degrees. I think that's dumping all of our flaps now. Speed's dropping like a brick. I'm going to just get a little bit more throttle back. And we'll line ourselves up for our landing. Still sitting on that diamond pretty much perfectly. Even though it says we're too low, which I find odd. Okay. Just schmoozing her in. There we go. Now we're above the diamond by a bit too much, so that's a good thing in my opinion. We're also at 71, so I'm going to pull our throttle back. I do love this yoke. This is pretty sweet. I'm very much enjoying this. I can see my dad really enjoying something like this. Okay. 500 feet. It says we're still too low. But I think we're doing okay. 400. I mean, frankly, we're sitting above the diamond, so I'm not entirely sure how we're too low. Actually, we're perfect now, so... 64. And I think rotate on this plane is in the 50s or 40s. So I'm just going to throttle back a little bit more. And go full control on the yoke. I see it shouldn't be that uncomfortable to get it free. I think adding a bit more to that is going to be kind of necessary. Okay, pull back on our throttle a bit more. Pull back on our throttle. Okay, pull back on the throttle. Okay. Okay. Okay, come on. Come on. Dump it. Oh. Okay, I feel like that was all right.
X-ray Golf Sierra. Turn next taxiway.
I mean, it came in a little hard. Maybe I'm doing too many flaps when I'm used to doing less flaps. Okay.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Contact ground on 118.25.
Okay, contact 118.
118.25. Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Okay. Okay.
Ground. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Taxi to parking.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Kilo.
All right.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Kilo. Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Okay. Now what you gonna say?
Impressive. You've passed the test with flying.
Good. Good. So, that's way better. A rating for an IFR. I love it. Oh, that's great. And that's not even using autopilot. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good learning experience. Okay, I'm glad I did that. Yay! Navigate when you cannot fly using visual references. You will no longer be grounded by cloudy, rainy, snowy, or poor visibility conditions. Amazing. Now we can also go in for our multi and our jet. Interesting. And I feel like we can get through those really easy too. We haven't done any of our helicopter ratings. What time is it? Oh, it's 11, almost 11:30. It's bedtime. All right, my friends, if anyone's watching, God bless you guys. We'll see you next time right here on Legacy Studio. This game is done for the night, though. That was a lot of fun. Feel very successful. Very pleased about this new flight yoke and look forward to doing more with it. So until next time, keep it crispy. First Tim 412, my friends, and God bless you richly. We'll see you right here on Legacy Studio next time. Y'all be good.